I'm Charlie Watson. I'm 18. Today, actually. Is the Beetle for sale?
It's yours, kid. Happy birthday.
I remember seeing these films and loving them and thinking that they were, I mean, visually some of the coolest art I've ever seen in a theater. And when it came to this film, I remember feeling like this is not only that, what I remember loving, but it has so much heart and so much emotion. It's very character driven. And those two things combined was really what was of interest to me.
They're calling an army.
I've seen firsthand, these things really are.
Bumblebee. There is only one way to end this war. You must protect Earth and its people.
Take it down!
My back, me!
I think the qualities that I can take from WWE and bring to something like Bumblebee is the ability to be imaginative and tell stories. Not being afraid to get my butt kicked certainly helps. So when some of the stunts I'm not exactly doing so well in, those are really easy. But I think like overall body awareness, like there's some stuff that helps, but it's amazing for me to say like the storytelling element of WWE helps me more on Bumblebee than anything physical.
It really was about just building as much backstory as I could. What's so incredible about this film is that, you know, the fact that my character has this relationship with this object isn't, you know, it's not that crazy of an idea. I think people now have that. People any age have had something in their life that meant something to them, whether it was a car or a doll of sorts, any kind of toy, a book that they felt understood them or, you know, got them, understood them, and heard them and saw them, and they felt like they could be themselves around, whether that be an alien or a robot, a car. And I think that, you know, in this sense, Charlie lost someone, and she knew and experienced what it felt like to lose somebody that understood her, and she comes across something that does, and that right there, for me, whether or not there's something in front of me or not, is enough to feel something.
So you have no idea where he came from?
No idea.
Well,
Here's the deal. People can be terrible about things they don't understand.
From now on,
The only person you can show yourself around is me. Oh, I'm good. No, I'm good, thanks.
If you're going to tell an origin story about a Transformer, it made sense to set it in the era where the Transformers originated, which was the mid-'80s. And, you know, someone growing up in that era, there was so much great stuff happening, and I was able to tap into, you know, all those childhood memories of those things, everything from cinema to fashion to music. And the approach was to try to make the film feel like it was actually shot in 1987. We used a bunch of tricks to make that happen. But, you know, it's one of the things that gives the film, I think, a cool degree of authenticity. We shot the movie with these lenses that were built in the 60s and 70s because that's what you would have shot with in the 80s. The way we designed it, the way we shot it, the way we used natural light, it was all meant to evoke 80s cinema. So it's inspired by all that stuff. It's not slavishly devoted to it, but I think it does give the film an interesting texture.
this is how we stop them. You've got me. And I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I think the sense of nostalgia about the toys were such a phenomenon. They literally allowed children to do magic. You could have a toy and then change it into something and then change it back into something else. That concept was so unbelievable and then became so real. I think when the movies started to reinvent the universe, it was done exactly how it should have been. So grand and so stylistic and mega action. And then you have a bunch of installments like that, and you hear the fan base clamoring for a deeper dive, wanting to wanting a more story-based narrative, and that's perfect setting to do it. Turn the clock back 30 years, rework the animation a little bit, tell a more well-defined story, and what we have is Bumblebee.